Open Adobe Illustrator, go to New File. Right now I'm set to points or pixels, so make sure it's on inches. We want this to be vertical, so it should say 8.5 by 11. If it doesn't, type that in. Where it says Untitled, type color wheel, and then create. We're going to get it started first. I'm going to hover over this rectangle tool. Now, if you don't see tools, you can go up to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, and they'll pop up. So again, I'm going to hover over this rectangle tool. If I click on it and hold, I can drag over to the ellipse tool. Now I have the ellipse tool. If I click and drag it, I just get an oval. So I'm going to hold the Shift key while I click and drag to get a perfect circle. Now before I move on, I'm going to show you this white here is the fill. This black line here is what's giving me that black outline. So when I click on the fill, I want to click on this red diagonal, which means none. So there's nothing filled. Now I've made some changes. So what I want to do is go to File, Save As. I want to save this on my computer. Yours will give you these options. I want to make sure that it's desktop. Mine says iCloud, but at school, just click on iCloud, desktop. Make sure it's always desktop. Everything else looks good, so I'm going to save, say OK. Now, I'm going to close this. So this here is my Illustrator document. I want you to go, while it's on the main page, go to File, New Folder, title this MP1 for marking period 1. You're going to save all of your documents from this marking period by clicking and dragging it to here. So now tomorrow or any day, you're going to double click that folder and open your document from here, not from the doc. So I'm going to double click here today or the next day. And this is actually opening 2024. This is 2023. So let me remove that. And now when I save this, it's always going to be in the folder on my desktop. I can always find it. So notice these are all kind of scattered. If I hit tab, I can, whoops, hide my tools if they're in my way. I'm going to go back to the Reset Essentials in my workspace. Okay, so before I continue, before you continue, or when you continue, I want to click and make this window smaller. Let me show you. Now that my art is gone, I hit Command and the number 0, and that shrinks my art to the page. I can make this a little bit bigger by clicking and dragging Command 0. Now I want you to go to the assignment and click on the video
Color wheel.
and follow the video, but now you can't see the artwork. So again, I'm going to hover on the bottom right corner of this. You see that angular or whatever arrow. And now, oops, now I can start and stop this video. So going back to here, and you're going to go back and forth, but I'm going to show you now on full screen because I'm recording. So with the pen tool, I'm going to click here. This is the pen tool. The one below it is the curvature pen tool that's got a squiggly line. So grab the one above it. And somewhere up here outside of the circle, I'm just going to click with my mouse and let go. That is my anchor point. So now when I move the mouse, everything's anchored to that point. Now I could click here. Sorry, that's my dog. I could click here and make a straight line, but it's not completely vertical. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down and notice that makes it completely vertical. So again, making sure this line is extended outside the circle, I'm going to just click and let go. So now I've drawn a completely vertical line. Now I'm going to go over to the arrow and deselect by clicking anywhere on the page so nothing is selected. Now select this straight line, and R is the rotate tool. So I could just hit the letter R, see at that little R on my keyboard, and that will automatically give me the rotate tool. Now I'm going to hit return on the keyboard, and that gives me the dialog box. I'm going to type in the number 30 for 30 degrees and copy that. What that does is it copies that line, but it rotates the copied line at a 30-degree angle. If I hit Command D as in dog, that duplicates that action. So I want to Command D until I make a full spiral. Well, whatever, pinwheel, sorry. Click on the arrow and click up here to deselect. Now, my circle is not centered with my pinwheel. I could click on this circle and on this point and align it that way, but I want to show you the alignment option because you're going to use that more than in other places. A lot of times, right now it's over here, but you might not see it. So what I'm going to show you is if I click and drag and select everything, and I go to Window and click on Align, it's going to bring me the box up here separately. Sorry. Now if I hover over here, Horizontal Align Center, while everything's selected, click there, and then again, Vertical Align Center, click there. That way everything is centered. While everything is selected, now I'm going to go to Pathfinder, and if that's not there, you can again go up to Window and go down to Pathfinder here, which is already checked off, which means I have it here. So now if I hover over this image, it says divide. As long as these lines are extending outside of the circle when I divide, it divides everything into separate puzzle pieces. But right now, everything is grouped. So what I want to do is go up to Object and Ungroup. Or what this means is hold down Shift Command G if you're into learning key commands. So I'm going to ungroup this. So now when I deselect, I can click on this one puzzle piece. And look at that. I separated and created perfectly shaped pie pieces. Command Z. From here, I'm going to click and drag over just the top half. If you don't see it over here, go up to Window and down to Swatches. And I want you to make sure you're on the fill, not the stroke, and fill this with magenta. I think the CMYK magenta here. And then do the same thing here at the bottom, click and drag, and hover over this one, CMYK yellow. Someone asked me today why magenta and not red. If you were to mix colors, or at least on the printing, on a printing press, CMYK, let me go back to this. This is the cyan that we're going to use later. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, black. The K is black. That is how printing presses prints every color you can imagine in any photograph.